Welcome back to Adventures with Rosie. Now today we are going to look around this land a bit more that we've just bought. We're going to show you a bit more of the forest and a few of these random sheds. There's a couple of sheds like this one. There's more of a garden style shed up the top with some goodies left behind by the previous owners. So we're going to have a hunt around, see what we can find and show you a bit more of the place. So this is the first video here on the property. If you missed our tour video, I'll link it up here somewhere or up here, but go check that out. We kind of have a good look at the whole place, show you around, show you what we bought, the size of the land, that sort of thing. There's a couple of random sheds on this property with some stuff left in them, which we want to go and check out today. Before we go down and check that shed out, I bought a toy this week. Let me show you. Yeah, hop in. Hop in, yep. Yep, you hop in. All right, you hop in too. Come on. The camera's on. Giz, do you want to hop in? Come here, Giz. Sit down, sit down. We bought a trolley. How cool is this? So actually was at Mitre 10, a hardware store here in New Zealand the other day. Saw one of these on display. They had none in stock. And this one had a few scratches on it and they gave me $70 off it. So yep, this is going to be our little firewood, I don't know, any projects we do around the property. Kids in here, tools in here, camera gear in here, and away we go. So we're going to walk down the hill now, check out the first of these sheds. I'm actually trying to hunt out some number 8 wire. I'm hoping there's some wire left here because Gizmo's been squeezing through a gap in the fence up there in between the rails, and I want to put a strand of wire through there to stop him doing that. So yeah, we'll go and see. Hopefully there's some wire left here somewhere on the property so I don't have to buy some. So this is a bit of a random shed down here in the bottom paddock. It's actually made out of stacked up pallets, but there's a heap of timber left here, which is pretty cool. Rails for the fence and a rusty old saw. Yeah, heaps of timber, which is cool. A bit of firewood as well. Random, oh yeah, rusted screwdrivers and gate latches. Yeah, it's a interesting little shed. I think the owner before us had a tractor parked in there that he used for doing sort of various things around the property, but yeah. So you can see the legs of this shed, the walls are just stacked up pallets. It feels very sturdy, they must be screwed together. But yeah, there's bits of timber posts around, which is cool. There's all sorts of timber in here, which is quite handy because timber is pretty expensive. Yeah, random containers, no wire down here unfortunately. There's a bit of pipe. Yeah, just lots of timber.
There was some firewood in here and some pine cones, and there's also timber over there. And
how about these giant rocks?
yeah. Oh.
Alright, well, we've got our rusty saw and rusty screwdriver, but no wire. But there is a whole lot of stuff up in the other shed. We haven't really had a good look through these sheds because we've had a week of rain. So we moved, it was raining, and then the kids got sick, and then we got sick. And so typical, right? So yeah, we'll go and have a look through the other shed. There's a heap of random stuff. There's also a random loft in that shed. Like there's a ladder, and it looks like there's some stuff up there. So yeah, let's go and explore that one. So welcome to our garden shed.
Yep.
Yeah, random little shed here on the property. It's quite cool looking barn style shed. Apparently it's always been here, and the people that lived here before us didn't want to pull it down because he said it's quite well made.
It's handy.
Yeah, it's handy. So this is for stuff that, I guess, lawnmower, all the stuff you see basically was left here by the people that lived here. They figured that because we're townies and we don't have sort of chains and, I don't know, all the stuff that you need for a lifestyle block, right? Spare timber and all that sort of thing. They thought they'd leave a bunch of stuff that'd be helpful, so.
And they didn't want to ship it over to Aussie, so.
Oh yeah, that's true. They moved to Aussie, so they didn't want to ship it all over. There's even an upstairs in here, which has got some stuff in it. I haven't been up there yet, but Harvey's gonna go up and show us now. And some number 8 wire, which is perfect. Exactly what we need to fence the dog in. I have no idea what these, oh shoot, hang on Alf. I have no idea what these are. These look like the most old school weights in the world. Bit of chain down here, some hoses, which is always awesome.
Dad, you're gonna have to do 55 lifts with that.
55 lifts?
Why?
How about 2? That's enough. Should we go upstairs?
Yeah. No, Dad.
Oh.
You're probably not gonna be able to climb up there. Wait, Dad, wait. How about some? Wait, pass me that. Hi. Hi. Now come over here.
All right, so this is the loft. It's actually really hot up here.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the ends aren't sealed in, but it's so it wouldn't be good for like storing. I don't know. You know, you wouldn't really want to store much up here, but heaps of old paint and stain for the deck, which is awesome. What are those? Brackets of hose brackets and pipe brackets. There's guttering over here. This, I think, is bits of the pool fencing that we have around the deck, so there must be random offcuts. Some hose, irrigation hose, so pretty sweet actually. Kind of handy having all this stuff. Bag of pink bats for some reason. I'd love to turn this into like a kid's fort one day, put a big window in there, slide coming out of it. But I'm just a bit nervous of the girls on that ladder. So
yeah, but when they go up, they can.
Oh.
We could.
In a few years' time.
Or if it's a bit scary, if you don't want to go down it again, you can just slide down a fireman pole.
A fireman pole. Okay, so we're going to have a fireman pole, slide out there, and a window in here, but when the girls are a bit older. So we found this, we got no idea what it is.
It's a pump.
Ah, submersible motor pump, there you go. No idea what that's for.
I was going to squeeze this.
So we found a couple of lengths of this wire. It's not actually number 8 wire because you can bend it quite easy, which is good. What we're basically going to do is up in our front fence, we have post and rails, we have rails, and we're going to put a strand of this wire in between the rails because that's where the dog's been squeezing out. So hammer, do you like my new peg board as well? I don't have a lot of tools, as you can tell. Townie, you hold the hammer, you hold the wire. There's nails somewhere in this mess that I haven't cleaned up. I also bought something else, another toy, speaking of toys. Look at this big boy. I have no idea how to use a chainsaw. I don't even know how to turn it on actually, so that might be a future video. You've seen all the trees on this property. I figure I could take care of some of them myself. Yeah, nails somewhere. Load it all up in the cart and go up to the fence. Ah, here they are. I need to put them there, look, staples. Yeah.
He's not joking about the chainsaw. He literally doesn't know how to turn it on. But don't worry, I'm not going to let him chop down any of these. It's probably just for tidying up the trees once they've been felled and a few odd jobs around the place. But yeah, no chopping trees down for Bronson.
Not bad, eh, for a couple of townies. You can see the dog, there's just, while we're putting this one in, he's lying with his head under this rail here, so we'll do run around the bottom. It doesn't have to be super tight, but just enough to stop him from going through it. The downside is we've got to go all the way down this side fence here too, but hopefully we can salvage enough wire from around the property. We also noticed while we were up here, we've never really spent much time up here, but there's these lovely native trees. One of our goals was to plant a lot of natives around this property. We'd love to get beehives in the future, but this is Karnuka, I think, the purpley one, and Manuka over here, the beautiful white flowers. Manuka honey is quite famous here in New Zealand. So it's cool to see that there's natives dotted around in between this kind of evergreen hedging here, but we're going to plant a lot more native trees, miro trees, kaunuka, manuka. We really like them. They attract all the native birds, and the honey, if you can get manuka honey, beautiful. So yeah, cool to see. Definitely going to plant some more in the future. Pretty happy with how that turned out in the end. Yeah, so the whole fence now, double strand of wire, except for the really low point over there. We even encouraged the dog to try and crawl through. And as soon as his head touched that wire, he put his ears back and he didn't like it, so that's good. One thing I did do is I walked up through the bush here and I realized there's a section of fence up here down in the bush that does not have wire on it. So yeah, I might have to do that bit as well. Just not sure where. If you saw a dog and he followed a dog along the fence, if he'd find a spot to pop through or if he'd just give up. So might as well, while we've got the tools out, go and look at that bit as well. We'll actually show you a bit more of this, what we call the forest. I know it's not a wood block, wood lot? Can't remember the correct term. But there's actually quite a lot of timber in here and some good stuff for me to learn to use a chainsaw. I'd love to be proficient with chopping my own wood, chainsawing, wood splitting, all that sort of thing. And as you can see, we have an abundance of wood here. But yeah, we'll show you more. Harvey also wants to build a bike track through this forest in the future, which would be pretty cool. And we're going to get some advice from some logging guys, hopefully, as to what these trees, what we'll do with them in the future. Will we sell them for wood because of obviously the nice straight trees have been pruned, or is this just years and years of firewood? I don't know, but yeah, just think Chelsea's found the hole up here. All right, I don't think we'll bother with up here because I don't think he's going to come all the way up here. He doesn't like the sticks because he's short and stumpy. He doesn't like all the sticks touching his stomach, but yeah. We've also got a couple of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 really big ugly gum trees in here. Gum trees drop all this kind of barky stuff, make a heck of a mess, and they're notorious for being problematic later on. You can see up in here we've got a big monster up there. Sometimes they split, they come down in the wind. So yeah, I can imagine, probably need to start saving to get those gums taken down one day, because I don't think I'll be able to tackle that day one with my chainsaw.
Thanks for joining us on our first ever vlog about the new property.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll probably explain a bit more in an upcoming video, but we're going to kind of do a mixture of videos around this property. We've got some huge plans for this place. We want to become a bit more self-sufficient. We want to look at solar in the future, bees,
Market garden.
chickens, market gardens, fruit trees galore. Yeah. We want to kind of really set this place up to live off for the next for the foreseeable future, basically, and just kind of be less reliant on I don't know, the grid, essentially. Not totally off grid, obviously, like still just out of town, but it works well for school and things. So we'll explain a bit more in another video, eh?
Every little bit helps, right? We don't have to be full.
Yeah. We wanted to find a property like this where we could have a lot of projects, and as you've probably seen with the forest, what I call the forest up there, and all the trees down there in the space, we got tons of projects. Yeah. But we're also close enough to town to go to school and have friends in town, family, that sort of thing. So nice balance, I think. Eh?
And at least after today we can relax a little bit more knowing that the dog's going to stay on the property. Yeah.
So we'll probably do a couple more house vlogs in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to plan a trip in the caravan.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn to use that chainsaw. We've got friends coming over tomorrow. I'm going to see if he can talk me into, or show me how to start it at least. And yeah, we'll probably wander around the property more, talk more about the plans. We're busy with our subdivision down the bottom as well, which you would have seen in the tour video. So that's sort of ticking over. We'll do a whole little series on that. And then we're coming into spring. We are in spring now, so veggie time.
Planting, yeah.
Also, fruit trees. We want to get a lot of fruit trees going on here, so we can...
Yeah, there's a pretty big plum tree that needs a good prune, but hopefully that'll give us some fruit this summer. Yeah, we've got strawberries. Oranges and lemons down the side here, but we want to put a big strawberry patch in, raspberries, blueberries, a whole lot of things like that. The girls want us to try and grow kiwi fruit, which I don't think we're about to do. Tomatoes, they go through about a punnet a day of cherry tomatoes, so we're going to get some of those in the ground shortly. Yeah, we'll get a lot of tomatoes in. So yeah, stay tuned, and we'll see you in a week for the next video. Yeah, see ya. See ya.
See ya.